The smarter you are, the easier you are to gaslight. That sounds backwards. It isn't. Intelligence comes with a habit, a good habit. You question yourself. You consider other perspectives. You ask, could I be wrong? Gaslighting takes that habit, your best quality, and turns it into a weapon pointed at you. In the next 10 minutes, you'll learn where gaslighting actually comes from, the 4 phases it moves through, and the one sentence that exposes a gaslighter almost instantly. That sentence is at the end, but you'll need the middle to understand why it works. The origin story. The word comes from a stage play, 1938. Later a famous film in 1944. A husband wants his wife's inheritance, jewels hidden somewhere in their house. Every night he searches the attic by gaslight, and when he turns on the attic lamps, the gas pressure drops. The lights in the rest of the house flicker and dim. His wife notices. Of course she notices. The lights are flickering, she says. And he looks at her with perfect calm and says, no, they're not. Night after night. The lights dim. He denies it. He hides her belongings and tells her she lost them. He isolates her from friends. Small things. Deniable things. She has all the evidence. Her own eyes. And that's the terrifying part. Evidence doesn't save her. Because he isn't attacking the evidence. He's attacking the instrument, her mind. By the end, she believes she's going insane. Not because she's weak. Because a person she trusted rewrote her reality, one flicker at a time. Psychologists borrowed the film's title because no clinical term captured this. It's not lying. Lying disputes facts. Gaslighting disputes your ability to know facts. Keep that distinction. Everything else follows from it. Why intelligence makes it worse? Now the uncomfortable question. Why do smart, capable, self-aware people fall for this? 3 reasons. Reason 1. Smart people update their beliefs. Changing your mind when you get new information is the foundation of intelligence. Scientists do it. Good engineers do it. You do it. A gaslighter feeds you false, new information about your own memory. That never happened. You said it first. Everyone else remembers it differently. And your well-trained brain does exactly what it's supposed to do with new input. It updates. Slightly. Just a few percent. A few percent. 100 times is total. Reason 2. Smart people explain things. When something doesn't add up, an intelligent mind generates explanations. So when a partner's story keeps shifting, your brain helpfully offers, maybe I misheard, maybe I was tired, maybe I'm stressed. You become the co-author of your own confusion. The gaslighter barely has to work. Your imagination fills the gaps in their story, for free. Reason 3. Smart people trust their people picking. I'm a good judge of character. I chose this person. Therefore, this person wouldn't deceive me. Admitting the gaslighting means admitting the misjudgment. For confident, intelligent people, that admission is so expensive that denial is cheaper. So the mind protects the manipulator, to protect its own self-image. Notice something. None of these are flaws. They're features. Gaslighting is not a test of intelligence. It's a tax on trust. The 4 phases. Gaslighting is not one event. It's a progression. Researchers and clinicians describe a pattern that moves through 4 recognizable phases. Phase 1, the flicker. It starts small, deniable, a dismissed feeling. You're overreacting. A rewritten detail. I never said that. Each incident is tiny. If you told a friend, it would sound like nothing. That's by design. Early gaslighting is engineered to be unreportable. And here's the key. You argue back at this stage. You trust yourself. Phase 1 can last months while that trust is slowly sanded down. Phase 2, the defense. Now you're keeping score. You bring receipts to arguments, screenshots, timelines. You rehearse conversations in advance. Sound exhausting? It is, and it's a trap. because the gaslighter never argues the evidence. They shift the frame. Wow, you screenshot our conversations? That's disturbing. Suddenly the debate isn't about what they said. It's about what's wrong with you for keeping track. You came with proof. You leave apologizing. Phase 3. The fog. This is the phase people describe with the same word, over and over. Fog. You stop trusting your memory. You check your perception against theirs before reacting to anything. Did that meeting go badly, or am I being sensitive again? Decisions become impossible without their input. Friends say you seem different, quieter, and when they say it, you defend the very person causing it. The wife in the film reached this phase when she asked her husband whether the lights were dimming, while looking directly at the dimming lights. Phase 4. The dependence. The final phase is quiet. No more arguments. Arguments require two versions of reality, and now only theirs remains. They narrate your life. What happened, what it meant, how you feel about it. Escape gets harder not because the door is locked, but because you no longer trust the part of you that says, leave. If phases 1 or 2 felt familiar, keep watching. The fog is not permanent, and reversing it starts with something absurdly simple: the defense. 3 tools, in escalating order. Tool 1, the external record. Gaslighting lives in the gap between your memory and their story. So close the gap. Write things down. Same day, plain words, dated. Not to win arguments. You will lose the arguments anyway. Remember phase 2. The record isn't for them. It's for you 3 weeks later, when you're told a thing never happened. Reality with a timestamp is gaslighting's natural enemy. Tool 2, the outside mirror. Isolation is gaslighting's oxygen. Every manipulator's story requires that no second opinion exists. So get one. Describe events, just the facts, no framing, to someone outside the situation. A friend, a sibling, a therapist. You're not asking them to take sides. You're asking one question. Does my reaction sound crazy to you? The consistent answer, no, that sounds completely reasonable, hits the fog like sunlight. Tool 3, the sentence. Here it is, the sentence from the beginning. When your reality is denied, the meeting, the promise, the insult, you say, "We remember this differently, and I trust my memory." 10 words. Watch what they do. You're not calling anyone a liar. You're not debating the event. You're refusing the premise that your perception is up for negotiation. An honest person responds to that sentence just fine. Huh, weird. We really do remember it differently. Disagreement survives. Relationship survives. A gaslighter cannot leave it alone. They escalate. Mock the sentence. Attack your memory harder. Because your self-trust is the entire project, and you just decline to hand it over. The sentence isn't magic. It's a diagnostic. The reaction to it tells you everything. The caveat. One honest caution before the end. Not every disagreement is gaslighting. Human memory is genuinely unreliable. 2 honest people can remember the same event differently, and both be sincere. That's normal. That's Tuesday. Gaslighting is a pattern, not an incident. The pattern has a direction. Over time, one person's confidence grows while the other's dissolves. One reality expands. One shrinks. If both of you sometimes misremember, you're human. If only your memory is ever wrong, every time, always in their favor, that's not memory. That's the tactic. And if this video described your daily life rather than an occasional argument, talking to a professional isn't defeat. It's tool 2, upgraded. If you made it here, one question in the comments. Which phase have you seen in any relationship, workplace, or family? Just the phase number, 1 to 4. Reading those numbers helps more people than you'd think. It tells the person in the fog that they're not alone in it. Subscribe if you want the psychology behind what people do to each other, told as stories, backed by research, 1 video every week. Last week, 7 manipulation tactics used on you daily. If you haven't seen it, it's on screen now. And next time, the man whose memory resets every 7 seconds, and what his brain reveals about yours. See you there.